Hi guys, welcome back to the kitchen. Today we'll be making beignets. Mardi Gras is coming, so I decided to teach you how to make this Louisiana classic treat. So let's get started. First, you want to activate your yeast. In the mixing bowl that you're going to mix your bread in, add in your yeast and your sugar, and then pour in your warm water. The warm water must really be warm so your yeast can easily activate. After you pour in your warm water, you can leave your yeast mixture on the counter for it to bloom about 5 minutes. After 5 minutes, you will see that your yeast mixture get a little bit foamy at the top, which means your yeast is ready to use. You're going to add in your milk, your eggs, and your first portion of flour. Using your stand mixer with a dough hook attachment, you're gonna knead together your dough. I'm using my stand mixer, but you can use a bowl and a wooden spoon, and that would work as well as alternating mixing and kneading in with your hand. After you are finished kneading in your first flour portion, you're going to add in your butter, your softened butter at room temperature, and continue to mix that in as well. After mixing for about 1 or 2 minutes, you can go ahead and add in your second portion of flour. Yes, this beignets recipe uses a lot of flour, but that's what's going to make the dough and the springy filling of it. And now you can see that your dough has started to form its shape and is starting to pull away from the bowl. You can add in your last 1/4 cup of flour. This will be the last portion of flour you're going to put in there, and after this we're going to take it out and knead it in some more by hand. When your dough gets somewhat incorporated, it might still have some remaining of flour, but that's okay. Now you're going to flip it out onto your counter and actually start kneading all the rest of the flour in by hand. You can sprinkle a little bit more flour into it if needed, and you just want to get that smooth and nice glutinous texture where you just poke into the dough and it bounces back a little. That's a good texture for dough, and that is ready to be proof heated. When you have finished kneading your dough and it is all smooth and bouncy, you can put it up for proof heating in a warm place. I would grease a bowl. Here I'm just spraying some nonstick spray, or you can use your mixing bowl and just put the dough in there and grease it evenly. And after that, just cover up with some plastic wrap and let it rise in a warm place for about an hour. After an hour has gone by and you take your dough out, you have seen that it has risen about double in size. Now you're going to remove your cover, and what you do is you want to punch a hole directly in the middle of the dough. This will redistribute all your yeast. Now what you want to do is just flip out your dough onto a lightly floured surface. Even though the dough is not so sticky, with a little bit of flour you can easily work through it. Now just knead it back a little bit and actually stretch it a little bit and just pop all of the air out of it. What you have to do next is get a rolling pin and add some flour to it and just start rolling out your dough until about 1/2 inch thick. Once it has reached the desired thickness, you're gonna use a square cookie cutter. And if you don't have a square cookie cutter, you can use a knife or a pizza cutter and actually cut squares or rectangles out of the beignets. You should get approximately 24 or 25 squares depending on how thick you roll your dough out. And after you have finished cutting out your dough, you're gonna lay it on a cookie sheet and let it proof heat another time for about 30 minutes. After it is done proof heating, you can see that the edge of the cut is starting to lighten a little bit and you cannot see it so clearly as before. After your beignets have been resting for 30 minutes, you can go ahead and fry them. And you can fry them over medium-low heat with oil, or you can do it with a deep fryer. And over here, I'm just using a small saucepan over medium-low heat. And once your oil is at a hot temperature, you can actually put in your beignets and it will start to pop up like little pillows. And after that, you just transfer it to a parchment so it can absorb all the oil. After you are done frying your beignets, you can transfer them to another plate to serve and dust them with confectioner sugar. You can serve these with a side of hot tea or hot coffee, and this will be a very nice treat for the upcoming Mardi Gras. Thank you for watching my video, and if you like my channel, please hit the like button below and subscribe below. Thank you so much.